So today we're going to be learning about how to convert these battery powered LEDs into something more convenient and operated via a USB. All you require is an adapter and a USB cable that you get at any electrical shop. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because during Christmas this year I ordered these lights and they're quite great, but the problem is that with the usual batteries they run for only about 12 hours per day, and over the span of Christmas I ended up spending quite a lot of cash just on buying batteries. So that's why I thought that I would make a video on how to convert these battery operated LEDs into simple ones that you can connect to any power socket in your house with the help of an adapter and a USB cable. So hey guys, so this is a normal USB cable, and all you have to do over here is you have to cut off the end that you plug into your phone. Basically, don't cut off the other end that goes into the actual adapter, because then the cable is pointless. You'll have to buy a new cable. So all you need to do is cut off the end of the point in which you put into the phone. So alright, so guys, we have cut off the end of the cable. Now all we need to do is expose the internal wires on the USB cable. You can do that with the help of a simple scissor and just go around it in a rotatory motion. This will help us expose the internal wires of the USB cable. So as you can see over here, we have four wires. We have four wires over here. Now these four wires, basically in the USB cable, we have the red one or brown one for the positive terminal. We have the black one, which is the ground. These are the two wires that we need to use for these LED lights. These other two wires, the gray and the green, are not required because these wires are the normal wires that carry the data. For example, when you connect your phone or you connect your phone to the laptop, these two wires will carry the data. But we do not require these two wires because we are going to be only using the power part for our LED. So what I have done over here is I have opened and removed the plastic of the ground, which is the black, and the live, which is the brown or red wire. These other two are not needed. What you can do, as color coding is different in many countries, what you can do is you can always test it out without actually soldering the ports to the actual lights. And you can do that by just connecting the USB end to your adapter, plugging in the adapter into the power socket, turning it on, and just confirming if the live and the ground are actually the live and the ground, like this. So as you can see, this is the live, which goes to the positive terminal of the battery, and the ground, which goes to the last point of the last battery, the negative terminal of the last battery. So the positive terminal of the first battery with the negative terminal of the last battery. And this is how you can confirm that you actually have the right wires. Alright, so as I showed you, you can confirm that the live is the live and the ground is the ground. And after doing so, you can cut off the other two wires as you do not require them. Those two wires are only used when you actually want to have a USB cable to transfer data. As far as I know, the green is the data positive and the gray is the data negative. We do not need these two wires for the purpose of powering the LED lights. So you can cut them off. Alright, so guys, before we actually solder the wires to the battery terminals, what you need to do is you need to make a hole in the cover of the battery box before you solder the wires. Because if you don't, you'll end up soldering the wires and you'll have no way to put the cover back onto the box. You'll have to unsolder the wires and thread the wire through it again. So before you solder it, make sure you make a small port on the container that holds the batteries, so that you can actually pass the wire into the actual battery box. You can do that with the help of a solder. It's not difficult. Just wait for the soldering iron to get really hot, and you can just make a hole in it like this with the actual soldering iron. Just need to make it big enough so that the USB cable passes through. So guys, after making the hole in the battery cover, all you need to do is pass the two terminals along with a small amount of USB cable into the box. The reason why I'm passing a small amount of USB cable into the box is so that after I solder these two terminals to the battery terminals, I don't want any excess tension on the wire that would cause the terminals to get unsoldered because of the force and the actual tension that the whole arrangement would have on the after setting it up. Stop. Alright, so now I've got everything ready. I've threaded the wire through the actual battery casing. I've got my two terminals, the brown positive and the black ground. I've cleared the plastic off the end so you can see the copper wiring. And now I'm going to solder these two terminals to the actual battery box. Before you actually solder it, if you want, you can check the terminals again if you're not sure about which is which. But the brown or the red, which is the positive terminal, goes to the positive terminal of the first battery. Who's calling? Alright, so the positive terminal is soldered, and now we have to solder the ground to the negative terminal of the last battery. Stop. So now we have soldered the terminals, and I've kept a little USB cable wrapped up inside over here, just so that I don't exert too much of tension on the points that I've just soldered at the moment. They aren't too strong, so if there's a lot of tension on the wires, they can come undone. So I've left a little extra cable inside, and now I can close the box, as you can see, with some part of the cable inside, and it's done. All you need to do is you need to connect the output USB that you put into the charger. You can connect it into the charging port like so, and connect it to the actual power supply. And turn it on. And there. The box also has an additional on and off switch which you can use if you want, or you can just use one on the mains. The important thing to know before you actually do this whole thing is that the USB lights are 10 meters long, consisting of 100 LEDs. With the actual batteries, with three 1.5 volt batteries, you would normally get around 4.5 volts as the output that you would require to actually run these LEDs. So the point over here I'm trying to make is that when you buy an adapter, make sure that its output voltage does not exceed 6 volts. Because if you use a higher voltage, close to around 9 volts on an output adapter, there are chances that you could short the lights because they aren't designed to withstand that kind of voltage. In that case, if you had an adapter that had a higher voltage, you would have to connect an extra resistor in series to this whole setup. But at the moment, since I don't require that, my 100 LEDs which run on 4.5 volts will not get damaged with something under 6 volts.